Hey all, and welcome back for another HellfireComms Patreon Quick Look. Today we are going to be taking a look at Alice Madness Returns for the PlayStation 3. This is the sequel to American McGee's Alice, which you can actually get if you purchase this game, and then you can download it from here, which I didn't originally know, and we were originally commissioned to actually cover that game, but hey-ho, SpaghettiOs. I got Richie with me for this one, and this was actually a free Quick Look. Yes, Robert Hollander actually won a prize by purchasing something from our online store and writing a little funny thing on the name tag shirt, and he's the only one who entered, so I guess he wins by default.
Hello, I'm Ntom64.
Yes, indeed. And Tom keeps pinging us, alas. Okay, I can't see all of the symbols. Now I can. There we go. What the hell is invert? Whatever. We shall just begin, and then the madness will return.
Exactly. I mean, I have to say, the American McGee's Alice series is, like, incredibly dark and twisted. Delightfully so, actually.
Is it more akin to, like, a proper adaptation of Alice in Wonderland than the Disney-fied version?
No, it's an incredibly dark and twisted rendering of it.
Ah, Tim Burton, then.
Basically, except even darker than that, because Tim Burton has actually done an adaptation of Alice, and this is far darker than that.
Yeah, I never really got why they commissioned him to make an Alice in Wonderland, which got a sequel as well.
Yes, it did. Yeah, I'm kind of just like, I mean, the first one was alright, I've never seen the second one, but it was just like, yeah, it's okay.
Now, if there are any details, like, I should know, like, from the first game, I'm obviously not going to, because I haven't played American McGee's Alice.
Well, basically all you need to know is that the Alice that we're dealing with here is actually, so she had her original visit to Wonderland, which is seen as pretty much the same as it ever was, but then there was a fire at her family home, and so she became an orphan and ended up with kind of really bad psychiatric issues and ended up sort of having to go into care.
Aww.
And then eventually she ended up going back to Wonderland, and it had become all dark and twisted and hideous. And now this is sort of, after she's left the orphanage, she's effectively been getting psychiatric help, but she is now going to end up being flung back into Wonderland and its incredibly twisted variant.
Jesus.
I'm not mad. That's not right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this game is dark and twisted and slightly terrifying.
Don't struggle, Alice. Let them...
Jesus.
Yeah, it's incredibly dark. I would say that the grand scheme of things, Alice Madness Returns has, like, amazing visuals and presentation. It's delightfully twisted, as you would hope. The only issue, well, there's a few issues, but I would say that ultimately the original game, despite being a lot clunkier and a lot more kind of tank-like, it actually ends up being the better game, because this is, while very accessible and very playable, so to speak, there's not really a whole lot going on in terms of the gameplay. It's just a lot of floating about and moving through fantastical worlds, which is fair enough, but I wanted a little bit more out of the plot, perhaps, than was provided.
I think I heard someone make the comparison, like, the first one is more about platforming than action, and this one is more like action than platforming. Is that right, or did I get it the wrong way around?
You are pretty much there, in the sense of the first game actually has many boss fights. This one has one right at the end of the game,
Charlie,
which a lot of people were not overly pleased about.
forget that. The past is dead, Charlie.
I do like the almost stop-motion look to the game. It's very nice.
Oh yeah, I mean, I do think that this is... It's got the perfect style for what they were going for. And it's also quite fascinating because what ends up happening is you end up going through these sort of, some sections are in this England, and then others are in Wonderland. And so you have the dichotomy of the two. Which they really do provide an excellent contrast. Although I think some people found these particular bits frustrating because really all you're doing is walking through corridors effectively.
Was I given a destination? I'm just kind of pottering about right now.
No, you've just kind of got to keep walking forward. There's no real destination, but the game will pretty much just funnel you down where you need to go.
Okay.
Also, follow the white cat. That's probably a good indicator.
Oh, so they changed it from rabbit to cat. Interesting.
Well, it's more because obviously the Cheshire Cat. Because I would say that the Cheshire Cat in the American McGee's Alice games is definitely more prevalent than the White Rabbit.
Oh, of course he is, because he's batshit insane.
Quite right.
The atmosphere is actually pretty nice. What system was this originally on? Do we know?
So it was on the Unreal Engine 3, and obviously made for PS3 and 360.
Okay.
Came out in 2011, and I don't think it did phenomenally well. I mean, critically, it sort of got middling reviews. It kind of ended up like around 70 out of 100.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Which I think is pretty okay for the game. I don't think it's sold phenomenally well either. And also I think there are a number of bugs, but yes! Alice is going completely insane.
Stark raving mad. So, obviously not real, just an old woman, infinitely scary.
Indeed. But one of the things I do actually quite like about the American McGee's Alice series is that it does actually tie into like the original Alice a little bit more, because the whole reason that Alice's full name is Alice Liddell is because that's the name of the child that Alice was based on. Obviously, Lewis Carroll's original books, effectively the whole idea of the character was that she originated while Lewis Carroll was trying to entertain the kids of his friend.
Right.
And he particularly liked one of them, which was Alice Liddell.
Yeah.
And so there is obviously a concern for why that may or may not have been. But she was the inspiration behind the character and what ultimately led to the whole success. In a way, it's very much like A. Milne using his actual son, Christopher Robin, to do Christopher Robin in the Winnie the Pooh books.
Obviously,
Not like her nanny, that uppity whore. Or that lawyer fellow Radcliffe took a stupid rabbit.
Oh, I see. So was that the inspiration for the psychosis of the White Rabbit?
I think some of it. I think the main reason for the psychosis is the fire.
Yeah.
That's sort of the instigating factor, and it's sort of the whole plot, in a way, of the original game is Alice trying to come to terms with what happened by going back to Wonderland and going to defeat the Red Queen.
Okay.
But this particular game it's got a secret that it's hiding, and it doesn't necessarily come out until right at the end of the game, and it's really dark and horrible.
Well, I'll have to take a visit to TV tropes after this then.
Yes. But yeah, it's really twisted. And I mean, what's quite sad is that because this game didn't do phenomenally well, they clearly weren't going to fund another game. American McGee has tried to get it to happen. Because I think he said that he envisioned the Alice series as a trilogy.
Yeah.
And I think he has the story. So initially there was going to be one which was going to be called Alice in Otherland, which was going to be released episodically.
Right.
But that just never came about. They did try to kickstart it, and that was kind of a plan, but then I think that ultimately just fell through.
Aww.
And so it never happened.
Gotcha.
So I think there has been now a new announcement, which is for Alice Asylum, which American McGee is working on, but which will be sent to EA once kind of his plan is completed. But basically, he's trying to get people to lend financial support by paying him through PayPal. So it's a little bit murky.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm okay with it either. Like, I would like to see a third Alice game, because I think that ultimately the way that I feel about Alice Madness Returns is that there's a lot of missed opportunities. Like, it had the potential to be a lot greater than what it ended up being. I think it just needed a little bit more work, a little bit of thought on pacing, and there's the Cheshire Cats.
Jesus.
Don't try to bully me.
Yes, he is quite terrifying in this iteration, but he is very well animated.
Very much so. Who's he voiced by?
You will have to bear with me. I believe that he is voiced by Roger L. Jackson, who is best known for voicing Ghostface in the Scream film series, and also for voicing Mojojodo in the Powerpuff Girls.
Ah, okay. Neat.
Which is pretty awesome. He is also the voice of Whole Horse in the 1993 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, apparently.
Yeah.
And then he's been in many games as well.
God bless tutorial areas. I mean, I could try it out for myself, but let's just have a scripted area. We'll have a double jump roundabouts.
I mean, to be fair, considering we've just come off of playing through, doing a quick look for Tales of Symphonia, which doesn't give you a tutorial, and Tom was, as I'm sure you will have seen by this point, maybe not doing quite so well in the beginning.
Oh, shush.
It's nice to come back to this, because I think in a way it's part of where we have come to sort of expect things in terms of modern gaming. I mean, particularly in this time frame, so like around 2011, where people were expecting to have things happen. Right, so obviously you can't go through there just yet. I think you just want to keep running forward. I do believe that there was a memory down behind you, but it's fine.
What does that say? Drink me. Oh, classic.
Indeed.
I wonder how many people picked up a drinking problem from that scene.
Potentially quite a few people.
Bathing costume. A plunge in that pool is in order.
Yes, drink the liquid, Alice. Become huge.
Well, actually, become incredibly small.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know what type of ocean it was just from colour. I'm not a fucking alchemist.
Well, you should know your Alice in Wonderland a little bit more, because the drink me's tend to shrink you, the eat me's tend to allow you to grow.
Gotcha. Reminds me of Nightmare, where there was uppers and downers.
It's very true.
Alright, well I guess I gotta go small to get through these holes.
Indeed. So basically you can shrink at will right now, which is good.
Yeah, we get a funky little visual effect as well. Oh, come on, Tom. There we go. Oh, now it's Deadly Creatures for the Wii. Fuck yeah. I kind of want to play that. I enjoyed the Game Grumps taking a look at it. Whee!
I don't think I ever saw it, so...
Oh, okay.
Yes, so that's one of the things that you can collect in the game, actually, is teeth. And they are ultimately the way that you level up Alice, so to speak. They allow you to improve her skills and all that jazz.
Okay. I gotta say, the game is looking nice so far. The performance in the human world was a little bit shoddy, I have to say. I noticed a lot of stuttering.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is not the best constructed game, not by a long shot, and I think it's something that American McGee, I think, has gone on record as saying he wished he'd had a bit more time to fix things. But hey, these things happen.
This is fun. I'm mad and I'm having the time of my life. Yeah, Golden Tooth, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
Well, of course.
When will I get to spend these teeth? Said the totally sane man, playing a game about being insane.
Honestly, I cannot remember.
Yeah. Oh, this area is wide. I'm assuming combat is approaching.
Potentially, yes.
Well, I mean, you have to give the player a wide arena, especially in the start of the game, you know?
It's very true, but the key thing is that Alice now gets her Vorpal Blade back.
It's a small thing, and you may not have even noticed it, but your brain did. Alice had a fucking magical girl transformation, because her hair is naturally short.
Exactly, yes. And the fun thing is that as you progress through the game, Alice ends up in a variety of different costumes. And some of them are quite spectacular.
Right, yeah.
So I think the key thing at the minute here is to just try and destroy the shells, or you might want to turn to your left and go pick up that memory.
Gotcha.
As well, because effectively the way that Alice Madness Returns ends up being is sort of a collectathon in a way, in that it wants you to pick up all the memories, it wants you to, once you've reached a certain point, collect all of these pig snouts that are flying about everywhere.
Okay.
It will all make sense.
Well, even with context, Wonderland is a pretty crazy place. What oppressed nightmare is this then? Insidious ruin.
Exactly. This is one of those things that you saw in sort of that opening cutscene. And basically it plays effectively a bit like Ocarina of Time, and sort of having your Z targeting.
Yep. Yeah, I got dodges. Can't help but think of Bayonetta, considering butterflies fly out when she dodges.
Yeah, I get that vibe as well, though she doesn't have a witch time maneuver, and therefore she's clearly not as good as Queen Bayonetta.
Yes, indeed. How do you feel about Bayo being back in Smash Ultimate, mate?
I love it. I'll finally actually get to play Bayonetta in Smash, because I never bought the DLC.
Same, mate, same.
Because I'm a cheap bugger, although I probably am going to get the Splatoon 2 Octo expansion and Donkey Kong Adventure for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I was about to say Kingdom Hearts Battle now, and I was just like, what?
I get you, mate, I get you. It can be used multiple times when jumping. Yeah, there you go. Well, the platforming's not super intense, but it works well so far.
Yeah, I mean, basically that's what you do end up doing for a lot of the game, is just floating about through things. It's fun. It's just it can get a little bit dull, I want to say.
So was the platforming better in the first game?
I would say the platforming is better here, largely because the way Alice moved in the original game was effectively tank controls.
Oh.
And you sort of could move her top half sort of separately to her bottom half. It was very bizarre. And the original game was actually really bloody difficult. I ended up using once I found out there was a save feature, it made it a lot easier because you effectively save stated your way through using the actual save feature.
Ew.
Because some of the areas are really difficult. This game in comparison is very easy.
Yeah. Well, good for a quick look. I'm not so sure as the game as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically how I would say. But yes, I believe this is I think it's the Duchess. And she was actually a boss fight in the original game, where you beat her ass, and now she gives you a challenge. Basically, you get a pepper grinder, which is your gun for the game.
Of course.
And the idea is that you want to shoot the pepper grinder into the pig snouts to cause them to explode.
Oh. I would have liked to have found that out myself, but whatever, I suppose.
Like, seriously, it's not a thing where you just go, oh, that's new. No, it's
come
just...
the fuck on. I was just playing Fortnite before we started recording. Bolterfly.
Yes. So the idea with this is that you want to shoot at them and kill them. Pretty simple. And then you go in and destroy that thing. Obviously, there is a bit of overheating that can happen with the pepper grinder, which can be a bit of a pain. But really, it's not too bad.
This actually is not too bad combat-wise, I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, in the grand scheme of things, Alice Madness Returns has a pretty decent combat system. The issue is that you don't really necessarily get the variety of enemies.
I suppose so, yeah.
And also, it doesn't necessarily really evolve enough. And I think that's where a lot of the problems end up coming in.
Yeah. I guess they're just gonna keep coming until I take out the nest.
Basically, yes.
There we go. Problem solved. Oh, there's a blighter though. There's blighters all over the place.
There are indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, the controls are pretty fluid, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's a really enjoyable game to just play. And it's part of the reason why it can get a little bit frustrating, is that Alice Madness Returns has so much going for it. It just doesn't end up sticking the landing, which is the problem.
It's gonna sneeze, it's gonna explode! Or it will just go back in the kitchen, I guess.
Yeah, that was very disappointing. It might be me completely misremembering how the whole thing works. It probably is, to be fair.
Really?
It's been even longer since I played Alice Madness Returns than when I'd last played Tales of Symphonia, so...
Man, you're not painting a good picture of yourself when you can't remember things in a game all about trying to repress memories.
It's true, but then I did play this 7 years ago.
Oh, whatever. Her parents died longer ago than that.
Well, yes, but emotional trauma. Bit of a difference.
Yeah, got me there, I suppose. Yeah, I don't remember the Duchess at all in the Disney version, so I guess her and, like, the Mock Turtle as, like, characters left out.
Yes, she's definitely in the original book. In fact, pretty much all of the characters in here are from the original book.
Cool.
Which is a nice touch.
Yeah. I mean, Disney has their version, and I'm a big fan of Alice in Wonderland, but I like the original every so often, you know?
Yeah, I have to say, admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of Disney's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh.
But, hey, it happens. You're not always going to like everything.
Yeah, I bet take these guys out before they start coming over to me. Should probably go into aiming mode for this.
It can definitely help, yes.
It's really good gun, this pepper grinder. I wonder if you can like upgrade it and whatnot.
I do not believe you can, no. At least I don't think you can. As I said, it's been a ridiculously long time, so anything could happen, to be honest.
Anything, Richie?
Well, maybe not anything. Like, I remember some of the basic stuff. Like, I know that there's a little Easter egg of a certain psychic acrobat that is present in the game.
Oh! I think I know who you mean. Raz from Psychonauts.
Yes! There's a little Easter egg with him. Actually a proper Easter egg in that he's hidden away.
Oh, that's cool.
But it is quite a nice little touch.
I have yet to play Psychonauts. Gaming Brick gave me a copy on PC years ago, but I just haven't had chance, or like, my PC wasn't good enough at the time to play it. Is it part of like the PS2 on PS4 or PS2 on PS3 service?
Honestly, I have no idea. I wish I knew, because I would quite like to play it as well. But still, look who it is ahead of us! It's the caterpillar! I think. Is that the caterpillar? Might just be a statue. Oh no, that's just a snow globe.
Yeah, that's the mock turtle, I think.
Yes, that is a statue of the mock turtle, that's what that is.
I was right, Richie was wrong.
Hey, I'm watching on a small screen here.
Yeah, how do I upgrade, or will I just be prompted to do that?
I believe it will let you know when you can start doing that.
Okay. Come on. I know you're gonna move. I'll just wait for it to come back. Platforming ho! Oh, that's cool how you can like chain hover jumps. I like that.
Yeah, it is a pretty nifty little touch. But it is also part of what makes the platforming in the game pretty easy.
Yeah, as long as it's fun, I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, that's generally the way to go about it.
Of course they're tears, and of course they're coming from an Alice statue.
Well, of course, it's the only way this was going to work out.
Is that it? Is that all you got for me? That was a bit anticlimactic, I suppose.
Little bit, but it's just teaching you how all these things work.
What the hell? There are bitches here. I keep pressing the shrink button by accident. That's my bad. Why'd you even come here today? You weren't a single threat to me. I'll probably reach the end of this area and then like start wrapping stuff up. I think I know what Alice Madness Returns has to offer now.
Yeah, I mean, basically the game is just more of this, which is delightful and fun and very interesting, but it perhaps could have, well, in my view, there was more it could have been, and it's just a shame that it wasn't.
Yeah. Kill things. Mushroom pops up. Yep, that's the Alice I remember.
Yes, just use loads of mushrooms.
Loads of Wonga moons. What the fuck was I trying to say there? She was stuck in her animation for the shooting there, did you see that?
Yeah, as I said, slightly buggy game.
R2 to dodge at any time. There you go. Shit. I wasn't on the ball there. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. It's not quite DMC, but I'll live.
Yeah, it's definitely not DMC levels of combat, but it's passable.
I'm assuming when their jets start to flare up, that's the cue to dodge and whatnot.
I believe so, yes.
God, there's a lot of these guys. Is there another thing that I'm missing for them?
I don't believe so, no. I think there's just a lot of them in this area.
Okay. Hollow... Yes, read this as if your life depend on it. Gather these pearly whites to prevent your premature... Da, 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 da. Okay, now we can upgrade. Yeah. Level 2, Vorpal Blade. Fuck yeah. Can't afford either of those. Oh no.
Yeah, you do need a lot of teeth in order to pull these things off, but then the game does provide you with a lot of teeth, so it works out in the end.
Either his doing or his epitaph.
Yeah. I gotta say, this is fun so far. It's not exactly challenging me, but who knows? Maybe my big mouth will get me into big trouble later on when there's a billion enemies on screen.
Yeah, no, I think you'll be okay. If I recall correctly, sort of the most challenging enemies are the ones that can block or that are particularly powerful, like in the area, which is where I'm pretty much going to say is arguably the best stopping point. You end up fighting a boiled teapot, or I think that's what the enemy name is, which can actually be quite damaging.
Okay, duly noted.
But we're not going to reach that point. Though we might get to the point just before that would occur.
Ooh, nice. I gotta say, I was heavily reminded of Coraline in like the opening cutscenes and whatnot.
Yeah, I totally get that.
I adore that film, like holy shit.
It's a very good film. And you probably need to rewatch it again at some point.
Commentary for Halloween, maybe?
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
What? Madcap.
Yes.
Lock on, Tom.
Yeah, they're sort of spawn of the Hatter,
Okay.
effectively, in the sense of they're sort of made of the same stuff.
Gotcha.
So, yes, you just got to take them down.
Smash the hats off. I assume I could just do this with the Vorpal blade, so let's have a look.
They're really not too challenging.
Shit. I say as I get hit consecutively. Come on, Tom, lock on. Okay, now these guys have shields.
They do indeed. Once again, it's not too bad.
Even had a little bit of like Bayonetta slowdown there, that was pretty cool. Yeah. I'm a pro at action games. I don't get hit a single time.
Total lies, and you know it.
I know.
I say as if I do much better in that respect, because of course I get hit during action games.
Yeah. T for me, 80 on the nosy. This seems like a good area to test my skills and then wrap up, I suppose. Motherfucker.
You might want to go a little bit further. Basically get to the point where you get a cable car. And then I would say probably take the cable car and then stop after that point. That's probably your best stopping point, because then that enters you into a new area and so on and so forth.
Man, I'm being really sloppy with these Madcap guys, but maybe because they're the first ones who've presented a challenge to me so far.
Maybe.
Going up. Whee. That's not the way it wanted me to go, I don't think.
No, it's... I think it wants you to go to your left. So just straight.
There we go. Lost, I don't know where to go. Okay. Shrinking violets. Of course. Oh, that restores my health. Okay.
Ah, so it does. Forgotten that bit completely.
Just get a full top up, I think.
Probably a good idea.
There we go. Shrink sense, you say? What is that thing that keeps running away from me?
Honestly, I do not know.
Ah! Can you jump during shrink sense? Because it wouldn't allow me to there.
I believe you can. And if not, then yeah, you can just jump out of it. Anyway, so you should be alright.
Yeah, I'm furiously mashing X right now. It's not allowing me to, so whatevs.
It could have happened that way, Alice. You remember poor Mr. Crow died.
This is why I'm hesitant to just attack these things with the Vorpal blade, because then we have the Inklings coming out giving it all this. I imagine instead of making it more powerful, maybe the cooldown for the pepper grinder gets less.
I think that is it. I mean, you might also get more powerful. As I said, it's been such a long time.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it. I'm so ungrateful. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are, because we've got another quick look to do tonight. I could just say, no, it's not going to happen. But that would be horrible, and I'm not going to do that.
It would. It really, really would. Alright, I got lots of teeth now, but unfortunately not enough to upgrade the pepper grinder or the Vorpal blade.
So you should just, step into the cable car and enjoy a wonderful cutscene that, in a way, actually reminds me very much of Portal 2's opening.
Huh, interesting. I didn't realise Alice sounded like that. Well, whatever. I'm aware it's probably just like a stock thing in the horn.
I believe so, yeah.
Well, he's been busy theming the place up since the last I was here.
He has indeed. He's created his own. Yeah, he's created his own mechanical factory, which is really, really bloody twisted.
How? How is that twisted? Like a guy wants to make a name for himself?
Yeah, no. It's once you get into the factory and see what Hatter has done, shall we say.
Dr. Bumby says change is constructive, that different is good.
Different denotes neither bad nor good, but it certainly means not the same. Find the Hatter, Alice. He knows more about different than you.
But does he know more about the difference between bad and good?
This is interesting stuff. Sorry, I was enraptured there for a second.
Yes, there's a lot of philosophy in Alice Madness Returns. A lot of stuff about psychosis and mental health. Maybe not necessarily presented in the best possible way, but still very interesting in its theming.
Hold on, and as they say, shut up.
So typical.
Shouldn't he be, like, making way for Alice? Are they friends? Are they enemies? What's going on?
They are... The Cheshire Cat is a law unto his own,
No, I mean the Mad Hatter, mate.
Mad Hatter... Well, he's mad, is basically the gist of that. But as you can see, Alice has now got a new outfit. Lovely, delightful. And I would say that this is probably your best stopping place, really.
Okay, mate, okay. Alright, so just jump on it, and you just do a little rotate and whatnot. Yeah, good shit, good shit. Ooh, nice.
Very gothic.
So yeah, that was Alice Madness Returns. I wasn't very adept at dealing with the Mad Cats, but every other enemy, hey, it was just when they started to put up a fight that I lost all competitive reflexes and kind of went a bit mad, so to speak. So, yeah. Congrats, Rob, for winning this quick look. I may do some more competitions to win a free quick look down the line if anyone's interested. Maybe not tied to the merch thing. That was just like a one-off thing since the merch shop was opening. You can find the link to said merch shop on our YouTube page. Just look at like the links bar and whatnot. But here's everyone who's currently pledging. Once again, please do not pledge for like stuff on the 25 and up tiers until the end of July. Put that money towards the Segathon that starts on July 16th, just so I can catch up, and also it's for charity, so it's a good thing, you know? And yeah, I guess that'll do it. We'll see you next time for another HellfireComms Quick Look. Bye bye.